27th, excuse me. This is a regularly scheduled city council meeting. Could we all please rise to begin the council meeting? We begin with the prayer. Dear God, today as this session opens, we pray that your presence will be before us and everyone who serves in the decision-making process of our city. We pray for direction which will lead our city to be strong and unified. May we continue the legacy of our founders. May we be granted this day the wisdom to make decisions which will be for the good of our city. We also pray for your special blessing on all those who are working to transform our city and make it a better place to live and work.
Amen.
Can we now please salute our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Counsel Martin.
Here.
Counsel Mercier.
Here.
Counsel Milonazo.
Here.
Counsel Rourke.
Here.
Counsel Samaras.
Here.
Counsel Belanger.
Here.
Mayor Elliott.
Here.
Counsel Kennedy.
Here.
Counsel Leahy.
Here.
That's 9 present.
9 present, 12 viewers at home, and in the audience here, we apologize for a little bit of delay. We just concluded 2.5 hours of auditor interviews. So with that, we'd like to begin with our regularly scheduled agenda. On the mayor's business, we have a communication. We have Louise Griffin to address the city council regarding an upcoming event to raise awareness about the prescription drug abuse and opioid addiction. That sort of coincides with a motion that myself and Council Samaras have filed. I'm sure all of my other colleagues would have filed it, requesting the council vote to create an opiate epidemic crisis task force. Is there any objection that we take this together? Because I'm sure the conversation will certainly intertwine. Okay.
I'll move to suspend to take the motion up at this time.
Okay, motion to suspend by Council Milonazo, second by Council Mercier to suspend and take this up at the same time. Ms. Griffin and any others, I know we have some registered speakers that would like to include a discussion on this and intervene, or please proceed. So,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Griffin.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott, for providing me with the opportunity to speak. I'm here tonight to invite all of you to a very important event. It's something that's very, very close to my heart. I'd also like to introduce 2 members of our board, Margaret Cemento and Richie Cemento, and Jordan Guys. I am the president of Zach's Team Foundation. I'm also the mom of an addict. My young, vibrant, and beautiful boy succumbed to the disease of addiction at the age of 21. Zachary graduated from Lowell High School in 2010 and was a gifted high school athlete. Zachary sustained an ankle injury, was given Percocet, which ultimately proved to be his death sentence. It is in his memory that we launched this foundation. 1, to bring hope to the hopeless by providing financial assistance for treatment. And 2, and why we're here tonight, education and awareness to help stem the widespread and worsening addiction epidemic. In fact, we would like to thank the city councilors that have supported our events. We are deeply grateful for your kindness and generosity. The gravity of our addiction problem cannot be overstated. In Massachusetts alone, 4 people die each day from overdose deaths. It has far-reaching tentacles that affects our community, family life, crime, health, and education. 9 out of 10 Americans who meet the medical criteria for addiction started smoking, drinking, or using other drugs before age 18. And 1 in 4 Americans who began using addictive substances before age 18 are addicted. 1 in 4. As compared to 1 in 25 Americans who started using at 21 or older. Now returning to where I started. On November 9th, Zach's team, in conjunction with other sponsors, including the Lowell Police Department and Circle Health, will premiere the movie If Only. If Only was produced by the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation and Millennium Health. The film's producer, Jim Wahlberg, will be in Lowell on this day to discuss and present the movie. It is a short film intended for teens, parents, and adults to raise awareness about the dangers of prescription drug misuse and abuse, and to start a conversation that encourages the safe use, storage, and disposal of prescription drugs to keep them out of the hands of our children. The movie will be shown during school hours at the Greater Lowell Tech and at Lowell High. There will be an additional viewing at 6 p.m. at the Cyrus Irish Auditorium. The evening event will be followed by a panel discussion. We are honored to have the mayor, Chief Taylor, Representatives Golden and Nangle joining us. We hope that you will be able to join us too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well. We thank you and your team. Anyone else would like to speak? No? Okay. So we will look forward to joining you. You can, we'll be putting this on the, perhaps we can put on the city website, Mr. Manager, or, and we'll continue to get the word out for this important event as you continue to raise money and to fight this opiate epidemic. So thank you for coming. Thank you for all that you do, and we're looking forward to that event. Mr. Guys?
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jordan Guys, and while I am a candidate for Lowell City Council, I'm not here in that capacity. Tonight, I stand before you all as a citizen of Lowell and as someone who has experienced loss at the hands of the opiate epidemic. I have chosen to harness my pain and use it as drive in fighting the good fight. I came here today to speak in favor of this motion because I believe this will get worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, there are still those who see this as someone else's problem. For those of you who can hear my words and subscribe to this manner of thinking, let me educate you on why we should support this council in the fight against addiction. First and most important, there's family life. If maintaining our most fundamental social unit is important to you, it would be wise to know that untreated addiction has unraveled more American families than one could possibly imagine. Second, there is economic impact of addiction. If it's true the electorate often votes its pocketbook, then voters should be lining up behind anyone willing to place addiction as the highest priority, both incumbents and challengers alike. According to a new estimate from the CDC, excessive drinking alone costs the U.S. $250 billion per year. Add that to the devastation of opiates and other narcotics, and the numbers are staggering to the point where the cost of addiction actually outpaces inflation here in the United States of America. Last but not least, there's crime. While not all addicts are criminals, addiction was involved in the crimes of roughly 85% of the U.S. prison and jail population. Add that to the fact that the U.S. incarcerates 25% of the world's prisoners while having only 5% of the world's population, and once again, the numbers are staggering. This issue is not about Republican or Democrat, rich or poor, black or white. It is about our moral obligation to save lives. While the solution may not come from the City Council, ways to weather the storm and save lives will. I often speak of what more can be done, but it's important to note the strides made by this council and by the City Manager, Kevin Murphy. They say there are no friends in politics. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not true. I am glad to have met each and every one of the public servants before you today, and I can assure you that they share my passion for saving lives. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, guys. Mr. Guys. We appreciate your passion on this issue. So with that, on the motion, I'd like to defer to you, Council Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. You know, every so often a problem comes up before us that requires, we'll say, unusual treatment in a sense. In my history working with the school department, one such example was when there were issues with the school department, Senator Paul Tsongas established a Blue Ribbon Committee, a task force to look at problems in education. It was very successful. So with that said, this motion is necessary at this time. The opiate problem has become and is at the crisis stage. We know there are many initiatives out there regarding this matter at the local, state, and federal level. As we speak now, many agencies, including the courts, are dealing with this problem. But in reality, many agencies or people in the need of help are unaware of who is doing what. The purpose of this task force is to bring people together to deal with this issue as a community. You will need representatives. I just wrote down some ideas. Representatives from the court, Lowell General, the doctors, Trinity, the ambulance, police, fire departments, some of the nonprofit agents that deal with this, the college, the community college, school department, city health department, community leaders, and neighborhood groups. Now, for many, you would say that's a lot of people. Why would we put all of them together? Yes, a large group to come together, to collaborate, to create a vision and a mission as to how we could possibly deal with this problem. And I think it has to be at the mayor's level to have some effectiveness. And that committee would be responsible, or that task force would be responsible for establishing working committees to coordinate whatever effort people felt would lead to helping to, if you can't stop the problem, you can certainly slow it down. You can certainly make an approach, a developed approach that can work. There are no guarantees in life that we can be 100% successful in anything. But that's what we should shoot for, to be 100% successful, shoot high, and if we miss a little bit, we're right in the battle, and that's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Samaras. I think, I may come down later, but we'll have a discussion on this, but I think you hit the mark. This is kind of a follow-up on the education piece and the numerous ideas that Katie Sheridan brought up last week, so I think it's important. Councilor Mercia and Councilor Milonazo.
I didn't even raise my hand, but I must have that look
You
on
have
my
that look.
face.
I've seen it for 2 years, Councilor.
I will say this about anything that we can do to get people together and focus on this deadly, deadly scourge in our city is well worth it. I know that we have meetings and all over. This is nothing new, but if you want to create this task force, I have no problem having that happen. But I'm frustrated to say that we're doing a lot of talking, but I don't see a lot of action. And I think what we have before us is a war. This is a war. These are people that want to get on board and fight this war, but I think we have to start doing things like getting a plan together to educate our children, and I don't even want to say middle school, I'm going to say maybe third grade, fourth grade. We have to educate, because I believe we have to educate doctors, and the governor is right on target when he's saying we got to do a 72-hour limit on prescription drugs, and this is absolutely true. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I know that through no fault of people, they get a prescription because they have a sports injury, and then it turns into a habitual, constant thing where they keep taking this medication. I know firsthand that it frightened me because I see this scourge every day with the clients that we deal with in the sheriff's office. Some of them came to us because of this very reason. And I'm sick and tired of going to wakes at least once a week and see families devastated by the death of a 29-year-old son or a 17-year-old daughter. I'm tired of it. It's so hurtful, and it leaves an awful, indelible mark on your mind when you see the people that they left behind that are so zombie-like to think that they died needlessly through an addiction. It's one thing to have a disease and you're trying to fight it and you die. That's tough enough, but to through no fault of your own, you're getting a prescription that's becoming habit forming. And I know when I had my knee replaced, I know that I have a doctor that was right on target, because when I wanted to ask him about the medicine that I'm on, and I didn't mean the one that was an opiate, I meant a folic acid prescription to see if I could get off of that I need to keep taking it. His like eyes bugged out like he thought I was going to ask him for another dose of that medication, which I wouldn't do that, but I could see how easily you could get addicted, and it's not easy at all. And my heart breaks for those families that have to bury their child. And I think we have to, and I almost want to say we have to frighten our kids into staying away from people that are going to give them something free that's going to addict them. We need to show these movies, and I know it's a litigious society, and parents are probably going to say, I don't want to have my child watch that, and I don't know why someone wouldn't, but I'm thinking what the documentary or whatever we're going to see should be seen in the school system for the kids. You heard about Scared Straight years ago. I think we should scare straight these kids so that when they're in their 20s and we won't be going to their funeral like we are today. So it's a very important issue, but I want to see some start to something. I don't want to keep talking about it. It's important, but I just want to say that because that's where I think we are right now. Thank you.
If there's no further discussion, Councilor Lee, would you just take the mic for the podium for a second? I'd like to speak on this motion.
Chair recognizes Mayor Elliott.
Thank you. We had a long discussion last week on a motion made by Councilor Belanja, and it was a good discussion. And we've been talking about this, and Councilor Mercy is right. The reason why I did file this motion is we need to put at the table the very people who can make these action items happen. And that's the purpose of a task force, the professionals who do this for a living, who can meet regularly, who can take these tasks of whether it's showing this movie in the schools, putting together video spots that can be shown at the high school. We need to put the superintendent, the city manager, the chief of police. We need to put the people who can make this stuff happen. I agree the Middlesex County District Attorney has a task force. The Greater Lowell Community Health Alliance has a task force. We're not trying to create more bureaucracy, but this is Lowell-based. This is going to be a body that will make things happen. I think people like Katie Sheridan, who knows how to get the message at the high school, should be included. I think Councilor Samaras went through a list of individuals who will make it happen. It's the time to continue to talk and meet about this has got to come to an end, and it's time to take action. And I believe this task force, we've had very successful task force here in the city, be effective and produce results. And I think this is a way to do it, that there's regular meetings and that there are action items and that these things, the superintendent, the headmaster, these people that come to the table and can resolve, not resolve, address the various, because it's a moving target. And we talk about state funding, and we talk about the governor, and there is a lot of talk, and we shouldn't talk anymore. And I believe we'll get regular reports, there'll be regular meetings, and those people, the stakeholders, those that have a stake in this, will make it happen. So I just want to come down and say that's the purpose of it. And Councilor Mercy's right. People are dying every day, and the time to continue to meet on this and to continue to talk about it has come to an end. And though we do have some idea on how to address it, getting in our schools, continue to get the drugs off the street, but get more treatment centers, get the people into the treatment centers. We know a lot about it, but it's funding and it's putting this plan into action. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you. Councilor Belanja.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. For starters, I overwhelmingly support the motion. I think in the last 2 weeks, this council really means business with the passing of my motion last week, putting opiate abuse education into the curriculum, and with this week's motion between Councilor Samaras and Mayor Elliott. I think the city of Lowell is officially declaring war on the opiate abuse crisis that plagues our city. It continues to be the worst problem that this city faces as we speak. Recent statistics, and I've said this repeatedly, have gone from 2 to 2.5 overdoses per day. The month of September escalated to 4 overdoses per day. But this city is reacting, okay? I know there are cities and towns throughout the Commonwealth that are receiving publicity, such as Gloucester, but Lowell is doing as much, if not more. But we aren't looking for publicity. We are looking for answers to solve this problem. And this motion is another step towards that. This is going to be a multifaceted approach, task force that is going to involve everybody that can input on this situation, such as police, fire, elected officials, parents, people in the pharmaceutical field, education. you name it, it's going to be at the table because that's what it's going to take to fix this problem. And it's everybody's problem, not just Lowell's, not just a city problem. The suburbs need to take part in this as well. And I think this is a giant step, and may Lowell lead by example like we're doing right now, and we are taking this very seriously. So thank you very much, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councilor Samaras?
Thank you. I agree with Councilor Belanger, who said, it's time to make war on this issue. When you talk about bringing a large group of people together, sometimes it's so unwieldy. And I understand Councilor Mercier's concern, we've got to get going. We are doing so many things right now. I think Councilor Rourke could tell in his own position, some of the things that they've had to do dealing with prisoners and things like that. But, and we've heard of many programs that are going on, but there comes a time in a community, if a community wants to deal with something, that they've got to come together. And I can see, under the power of the mayor's position, this commission that comes together will have the chance to discuss what is actually going on and then start to make some directions as to what can be coordinated with what, who, where else would we need some type of help. But we could look at it from a holistic point of view, from a community point of view. And I think its time has come. I think many people are willing to see it happen. And we have shown success in probably anything that we've ever put our mind to as a city. And I think the time has come to, as a city, to put our mind to dealing with a very serious social issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Was the motion second? Oh, yeah, okay. So can we do a roll call on this then?
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milonazo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
That's 9 yeas.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you on the 9th, and we'll continue to get the word out. With that, we'd like to move on to the city clerk's portion of the agenda. We have minutes of the city council meeting October 20th. We have minutes from the downtown redevelopment subcommittee meeting, also on the 20th. Motion to accept these minutes and place on file by Council Samaras, second by Council Rourke. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed. Motion carries. The minutes are accepted and placed on file. Next item on the agenda, we have a presentation from the Lowell Archival Inventory Report. Chair would like to recognize Mr. Mehmet Ali. Thank you for all your, first of all, let me thank you on behalf of the council, and I'm sure they will thank you as well, but for all your work and your effort, as well as all of your volunteers, including yourself, who contributed hundreds of hours on behalf of the city and archiving our historical records. Mr. Ali.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Manager and city councilors. You have in your packet the City Archives Inventory Report and in two documents, one the kind of overview and recommendations, and two the inventory itself. When I was appointed city historian about a year and a half ago by the manager and charged with undertaking this study, I said to myself, this is going to take probably 3 years, 3.5, maybe 4 years. And I was thinking, who am I going to get to help me? I'm going to have to strong arm, one of my family members, my good friends, my cousin from Centerville, and get people to help me out. Miraculously, I didn't have to strong arm any of my closest connections, but a group of volunteers emerged asking that they wanted to be part of this project and they wanted to volunteer. And several of those volunteers are here tonight. Just want to quickly go through them, recognize them. Sidmoy Chiv, Bill Walsh, Alex Madsen, Belinda Duran, Karen and Walter Hickey, and Evan Shapiro. and they did donate many, many hours. On Saturdays was the primary day that we were here in the attic, in the building, conducting the inventory.
If you would mind, would you come up and stand next to Mr. Ali so we can get you on camera? Your moment in fame. Everybody at home, your neighbors and friends, family are watching you, so we thank you. We thank you very much. Mr. Ali, you wanted to continue? And then
Yeah, and there was a handful of other people which are recognized in the acknowledgements that weren't able to come here tonight. We thank them as well. And I do want to thank the city department heads for welcoming us into their various departments and allowing us for great access and information that allowed us to conduct the inventory. So again, on the report, there's a handful of recommendations. I'll be looking forward to working through the city clerk and to the manager's office to potentially set up the next step in this process. It took us about a year and a half to get to this point, and there's a lot of work ahead, but the city has been in business for 189 years, so we've collected a lot of stuff. So more to do, but we appreciate your support on all of our activities. And happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Yes, before we conclude, this wouldn't have been possible certainly without you and your volunteers. Also want to recognize Mr. Clerk for your involvement and contribution effort. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. I just want to recognize Mr. Ali in the group of volunteers. It was a Herculean task that they were assigned. I think that's the smartest thing we did at first was to name Mr. Ali city historian, who was able to get the ball rolling at that point. When I first got to the job, the thing I was told, we have records that go back to 1820. My question was, what are they? And that's the answer that we provided for today. There are so many up there. It was just a joy looking at all the stuff that was being brought down. Mr. Hickey was able to commandeer the office next to me, and he was in there just about every day showing me something of tremendous interest to see, tremendous historical value, and it was a pleasure being able to do that. I had very limited involvement, Mr. Mayor. The biggest thing I did was give Mr. Ali the keys to all the places, and he was able to get those groups together, and they did a great job. We know what we have up there now. The issue now we have moving forward is another big task, and I'm convinced that we'll be able to do it based on the prior history that I've seen here, is that what are we going to do with them? Where are we going to put them? What are we going to keep, and how are we going to keep them? And that's a task that will be done by the city in due course, and looking forward to working towards that end.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any interesting tidbits you'd like to share with the public that you found up there? I mean, in addition to all the historical records, anything of, I'm sure that they were all of interest, but.
A couple of quick ones. For example, we found the church records for the French Protestant church. There was a law passed where if a church went out of business, the church had to deposit their records to a public entity so that former members of the church could inspect the records. So something that really had nothing to do with the municipal government was located up in the clerk space in the attic. And then other things, unique things. Walter, do you have anything?
Just a general comment, and I definitely thank Michael for allowing me to. I believe you used the term commandeer the office next to yours. It's my second home. But what I have found is an incredible collection of well-preserved documents, because the city trifolded the papers and then stored them in galvanized tins. And the documents are in wonderful condition after all these years. Just to pick one thing, as I'm going through and I'm creating inventories of these documents, and literally starting in 1826 with the town records coming into the city in 36, I am seeing day by day the growth and development of the city. Requests for sidewalks, requests for streets to be laid out, requests for gradings of streets to be altered. And the beauty of the government of this city, certainly in the 19th century, is that nothing happened except that it came through your predecessors. Whatever you wanted, you had to apply to the Board of Aldermen and or the Common Council. The two bodies had to agree and then instruct the department heads to take care of it. And they responded to every request. If there's a petition to the council, there's a report issued because it was issued to a subcommittee.
Then there's a response back to the petitioner. The early 19th century history that I've been dealing with is incredibly well documented. And the final little fun thing I'm going to mention is just the other day, I pulled down a box from the attic, which I'm about to inventory. It's called City Marshal's Reports. And I expected to see the dry, dull annual statistical reports. Well, they're not. From 1836 to the early 1850s, with gaps. These are reports of the city marshal to the city council on all actions brought before the Lowell Police Court that week. If you're lucky, your great-grandfather is in them. I know mine is. And this becomes incredibly important because we have no records of the Lowell Police Department, except for what might be upstairs, because they disappeared when the police department moved from Market Street to JFK. So we have a wonderful treasure in this building. And I'm very thankful to Mehmet for allowing me and my wife to join the crew, because it has been fun. And also, I like the little office. Thank you.
I just wanted to quickly mention, so the inventory that you have denotes that there are over 17,000 records, but really, and as Walter described, these include potentially boxes of documents. So when you extrapolate the count, we probably have several million actual individual documents here at City Hall and at the library. And I want to recognize Victoria Woodleys, who's here, who has also assisted with Walter in providing the records that are housed at the library as well.
Great. Well, thank you very much. You didn't happen to find any boxes of money up there, did you?
Michael Geary can tell you that.
Oh! No wonder you gave him the keys. Councilor Marcia?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm very honored because when I made this motion to have you in this position all those years ago, I knew you'd do a tremendous job. And when the call goes out for help, good people come forward and help us. So thank you so very much. I wish you had numbered these pages because I don't know how many pages are here, but if they can scan on this, this is all the work that they've done, documenting things in attics, in the engineer's office, and the vaults, in the city clerk's office, and inspectional service department, and all the work that went into all this, and it's on both sides. That's amazing. I'm exhausted just looking at this list.
If I may add to that, when I got the PDF was page 1 of 202 pages.
So 200 plus pages.
Is that on both sides? Are you counting both sides of this paper?
I think you're counting both sides.
Yep.
Jeez, I'm exhausted. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you again, and we'll be working again through the city clerk and the manager's office for the next steps. Thank you.
So that completes the city clerk portion of the agenda. We'll now move on to the next section, section 3, that's communications from the city manager. We have motion responses. We have motion responses A through D. We'll begin with motion response A, Parkview Avenue sign. Councilor Milanazzo.
Just a thank you to the administration for taking care of it. Thank you.
Councilor Leahy.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Can I just ask again that we, I know it says in the report they're going to check, so I got a request for Hazel, I think it's Hazel Street is a couple streets up, but, you know, if they just go up and down, they'll see the streets and we'll get them done on that road at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Any other questions, comments on motion response A? See none, we'll move to motion response B, Church and Lawrence Street. Councilor Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. This is a quick turnaround on this report. You know, I realize the motion was to explore the possibility of putting utilities underground at that intersection, and it's cost prohibitive, I guess, over $500,000 at least to do that. And, you know, I can appreciate that it's expensive, but, you know, you drive down Lawrence Street, and if you stop and you just look straight ahead, you know, there's a utility pole that's, I don't know what the angle is, but it's certainly not 90 degrees, right? It's more like 60 or 70 degrees, and the whole intersection is, you know, a disaster because of, in good part, because of the utility lines. And you look up ahead and you see a building that says Gateway Center, you know, a sort of a welcoming gateway to the city, and yet, you know, the utilities in that area are a mess. And I think the utilities companies should be embarrassed by the situation of that intersection. And to say I would charge you $500,000 and we'll straighten it out is really just ridiculous to me. So, you know, and we're going to spend good funds, public money to upgrade that intersection and make it, try to beautify it, signalize it, make it more functional, and then, you know, that's the response we get is, oh, give us another $500,000 and we'll make it look nice. I just think that's really not in the spirit of what we would expect from public utilities. I think they shouldn't be embarrassed by that situation. They should be working with us to do a better job at that intersection, and we just shouldn't allow things like that to exist. So I realize it's not, you know, a priority to spend $500,000 there, but the utility companies need to do a better job in this city, especially in situations where we're going to make expenditures to try and upgrade things and make it better, and they just think they can just sit idly by and wait for someone else to come along and fix their problems. It shouldn't be something we allow.
Thank you, Councilor. I agree. Councilor Leahy.
Thank you. I just want to agree with Councilor Martin. I think that everything he said is right on. I think that, you know, we have to demand more. And I think we have been. I think we've been doing a good job. Your office has been doing a great job, Mr. Manager. So if there's anything more we can do with this, if you can turn Mr. McGovern on them like he has, and he does a great job following up on these things, you know, we should demand more. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Councilor Martin?
I don't know that we should go to the length of having a list of crooked poles as opposed to double poles, because I think that would be the answer. We'd throw another pole in and we'd have another double pole situation. So, you know, it's just, I think, something that we should try to do better on in the future.
I agree. Mr. Manager, and I have a question for the solicitor. Mr. Manager?
I agree with you 100%, because the sad thing is the capital plan that you approved called for new signalization at that intersection. That's going to start in the next couple of days, and so we're going to be upgrading our signalization, but they tell us that they'll only put it underground if we pay this king's ransom, and it is sad to have to, but we keep dealing with them and we'll continue to deal with them.
So perhaps there's a better solution than underground, but it needs to be better.
Thank you. I was just going to ask the Madam Solicitor, is there any move on the state level, or is it possible for an ordinance that this, you know, Council Martin's right, if you look at those poles at any given point in time, it's a safety hazard, that we could incorporate, you know, some level of a public safety issue to require or to urge them to put these utilities underground? Is there any criteria across the state?
Not that I'm aware of,
No.
however, we certainly can take a look at that.
I'm wondering what the criteria is when they do go into neighborhoods. Is it developers, Mr. Manager, that pays for those utilities to put them underground and not National Grid at all whatsoever?
And the worst part of this report is not only are they saying the cost of National Grid, they're then saying that all the other Verizon and Comcast and the others that we have to pay to put underground also. That's just their cost. So we're on the hook for everything. But we'll look into it and see if there's something we can do to press them to do this stuff more readily. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Manager. Further discussion on motion response B. Seeing none, we'll move on to motion response C, dedication of stone at Bells Park. Councilor Mercia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. When I did ask for the motion to allow the city manager to have a dedication of the stone at Fells Park, I got a response, and the formal dedication will take place on Saturday, November 7th at 11 o'clock at Fells Park. Fells Park is located at 260 Riverside Street in the Pawtuckettville section of the city, and this stone will honor the memory of Patricia Booton, Thomas Brogdon, Marilyn Evans, and Bernard Gill, who perished in a horrific accident due to a propane explosion in March of 1972. Now, I am understanding that the families of the deceased have been notified and will be in attendance, so thank you very much, Mr. Manager, for this quick response and timely dedication. Thank you.
Mr. Manager?
Yes, I just also want to let everybody know that parking will be available in all the university lots for this function. And after the dedication, a reception will follow across the street in the lobby of Olney Hall at UMass Lowell, and everybody's invited to the reception.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And you are right, Madam Council Mercia. All of the families, they were actually found in a very timely manner by Paul Marion and Selena and the group that put this together very quickly, and they were very honored to that we were doing this for them.
This is the right thing to do, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Moving on to motion. Any other further discussion on motion response C? Moving on to motion response D, status of Merrimack, Moody, Market, and Salem Street. Councilor Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. I want to commend City Manager Murphy and Planning Director Diane Trad. I asked for a motion. My original motion was to request that the Department of Planning and Development start a dialogue regarding the neighborhood corridor between University Crossing and the Smith-Baker Center. And this report has far exceeded what I've requested at this particular time. I just want to read one line out of it. It has been many years since the upper Merrimack Street area has been the focus of a planning process with a number of potential development sites along the Merrimack Street and new University UML development. There are dynamic changes affecting this neighborhood. A neighborhood plan will help better prepare the city for new development opportunities and improvements that can help attract people and investment into the area. This is the type of thinking that we want to see in every area of our city. And Mr. Manager, I would like to request that this notice go out to the different neighborhood leaders so they can understand what's going on in this area here and start to prepare for the same thing to happen to them. But, Mr. Manager, would you mind yourself or Diane Trad to just explain a little more about the purpose of this, what has happened with this study or the beginning of this study?
Mr. Manager?
Thank you. As part of our work with the University of Massachusetts Lowell, we understand that in order to attract the university to come down Merrimack Street towards downtown, we really have to improve that neighborhood, starting with Cardinal O'Connell Parkway all the way up to University Crossing. We started working on this over a year ago with stakeholders in the neighborhood. And the exciting thing is that through the efforts of Kevin Coughlin and the Working Cities Group, is we just got a $15,000 planning grant to start planning for a comprehensive plan to make that neighborhood that much better. It's always been one of our poorest neighborhoods. And what do we do to address the issues of poverty, lack of education, lack of quality jobs, so that we can get to the root of those issues and make that a great neighborhood, so now you're making it a safe and attractive neighborhood and attracting the students and faculty from UMass Lowell to work their way down from Pawtucket Street all the way down to Cardinal O'Connell Parkway and more.
Thank you for that effort. Thank you very much.
Further discussion on motion response D? Seeing none, that concludes the motion responses. Entertain a motion to accept the reports and place on file by Councilor Martin, second by Councilor Leahy. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Reports are accepted and placed on file. That concludes the communications from the city manager. We'll move on to votes from the city manager. The first vote is a vote to accept a $5,000 gift from Digital Federal Credit Union to the Pollard Memorial Library. Motion to waive the full reading by Councilor Kennedy, second by Councilor Belanger. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. The second reading will be by title. In City Council is a vote, authorizing the city manager on behalf of the city of Lowell to accept a gift of $5,000 for use by the City of Lowell Pollard Memorial Library. What is the wish of the body? Move approval by Councilor Rourke, second by Councilor Milanazzo. Discussion? Roll call.
Just that we send a nice thank you card. Thank you.
Anything else? Roll call.
Counsel Martin.
Yes.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Milonazo.
Yes.
Counsel Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Samaras.
Yes.
Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Counsel Kennedy.
Yes.
Counsel Leahy.
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas. Motion passes. Moving on to the next item is 4.2. We have a vote to authorize the city manager to accept a letter of intent and enter into an LDA land disposition agreement with Watermark Environmental Incorporated regarding parcel 17, 17A, and parcel A. This needs 2 readings. I know, Mr. Manager, you have a presentation. Let's proceed with the second reading. Motion to waive the full reading of this by Council Samaras. Motion by Council Samaras, second by Council Mercia. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye, and the opposed motion carries. Second reading by title, in City Council's a vote authorizing the city manager to accept the letter of intent and enter into a land disposition agreement with Watermark Environmental Incorporated regarding property located at 2.21 Jackson Street, otherwise referred to in the City of Lowell's form-based code as parcel 17, 17A, and parcel A. Chair would like to recognize the city manager for a presentation on this. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through you, you know, I know I say this a lot, but there's pretty exciting stuff going on in the city right now. In the last 10 months has been an incredibly active time for the Hamilton Canal District. There were so many things that had to come together to make the Hamilton Canal District a reality, and we see them all coming together right now. And that's why I say there's pretty good stuff and pretty exciting stuff happening right now. First of all, I know you know that we're getting near the finalization of the National Park land swap, which is just an incredibly important thing for the Hamilton Canal District, because without that swap, we really would have had a hard time from an economic standpoint building a garage in the Hamilton Canal District to park the cars that are necessary. But now, because of that land swap that has been worked out, we're going to be able to go forward. And I think it's exciting news to report that with that land swap, we feel that we are going to be able to begin the design of a new 900-space parking garage in the Hamilton Canal District, and we're going to do it on our own. And the good thing is as a result of the sale of these parcels to the proposed entities that you'll be getting presentation on, we'll be able to fund the design of that new garage without having to come for authorization for loan orders from the City Council. So everything, the timing is just perfect for everything in the Hamilton Canal District. Last week I told you that we were going to give a more formal proposal. We have 4 votes before the City Council tonight that we're going to ask that you consider voting in favor of to let us move forward with this revitalization of the Hamilton Canal District. As I told you, in September we sent out an RFQ for interest in the Hamilton Canal District. We extensively advertised for this request for qualifications by directly contacting major developers in the area. We created our own website for the Hamilton Canal District, and we advertised very, very extensively. And we're excited because we received a proposal from Wind Development to be the master developer. And master developer, as such, they're going to partner with Anchor Line Development. Anchor Line Development is the owner of Cross Point Towers here in Lowell, and they're going to use all of their commercial expertise to be the master developer of the Hamilton Canal. We'll be coming forward to you with a more detailed land disposition agreement with the master developer, because the request for qualifications in their case was merely to state that they have the ability to be the master developer. But what we need to do is we need to sit down with Wind Development and Anchor Line and ask them, what is your vision for the Hamilton Canal? What are the details now that you want to do in the Hamilton Canal? What are the timetables? And what do you need from us to make sure that you're going to be able to be the master developer and push forward an agenda that is in compliance with this City Council's viewpoint? So there's a lot of work left to be done on the master developer, but we've already started it, and we'll be coming with a more detailed proposal. But I think the real exciting thing, and what we want to present to you tonight, is that there are 2 entities that submitted proposals to take parcels out of the Hamilton Canal Master Development Plan and to construct buildings there on their own. One of them we're anticipating will be in the ground hopefully within a year. Another one we'll have to wait a little bit for the MassWorks grant to come from the state that we're confident about. But it just shows that there's interest right now in the Hamilton Canal, and I'd like to bring Craig Thomas up to give a very brief presentation relative to the two entities. And principals from those entities are here this evening. Would like them to just introduce themselves in a moment to the council and just tell them why they're interested in the Hamilton Canal District. Craig?
Yep. Thank you, Manager. To you, to the mayor and the council, we're very excited to be able to show what we have. It's not that well hidden, but the punchline's coming anyway. We're excited to show what these proposals are because they're significant and they're designed to kickstart what happens now and for the remaining portions of the Hamilton Canal District, which is why we're calling this the opportunity realized of the Hamilton Canal District. So a quick outline, I'm going to keep this very brief, but a little background just to remind us all about where we've been, the progress about completed projects, follow up what the manager stated about the RFQ, then talk about the development proposals in particular, and work on and talk through the next steps. So around 2006, we don't need to get into this too much, but everyone remembers the vacant, blighted industrial buildings and open vacant land there, the demolished buildings that are caving in upon themselves, unfortunately. And it leads us to, through work of various administrations and this council, where we are today, which includes, again, a site that's now development ready, largely in the section south of the Pawtucket Canal. We also have two buildings, the existing buildings that have been rehabbed, the Appleton Mills, which is an extraordinarily reuse of a building that was almost certainly going to be demolished before we were able to move forward, as well as with the 110 Canal building that houses UMass Lowell's Innovation Hub. The place we're at now is really based on this council's vision as well as the administration's vision about what the next steps are for the Hamilton Canal District. So as the manager mentioned, we issued an RFQ, a request for qualifications. This went out this past September. We did a lot of direct outreach to local, regional, and national developers. Press releases, ads, as an example you see on the right there, updated the website, and received the information back the second week in October. Again, we're very excited about the response that we received. We received a partnership proposal to be a master development team. We thought some of those groups might seek the master development designation themselves, but instead came together, wind companies as well as anchorline partners. But most specifically, and what we're going to detail tonight is Watermark, which seeks to construct a corporate headquarters in and around Parcel 17, as well as Genesis Healthcare, which seeks to construct a skilled nursing facility in collaboration with UMass Lowell on Parcels 2, 3A, and 4. I know that the parcel numbers are very confusing, which is why we have a lot more clarity in our maps here to try and walk through these proposals. Just a little background, because we have the folks here that we'll invite up in a second to talk, but Watermark was founded in 2001 on this, for the Superfund site in Lowell. They have a wide variety of planning services they provide today with over 75 highly skilled staff members. I think it's also interesting to note that we sometimes think about Watermark as a local company, because it's with a local president here, but they work all across the U.S. and work in Arlington National Cemetery, the Moakley Courthouse in Boston, and many projects around Lowell. So this is Watermark's proposal. Here, and you have this with you, they're looking at this area at the end of this peninsula. So you can see here, this is the giant furniture building. This is across the street in that area where National Park stores or has their boats available. So when you come out here on the dock. So they're actually seeking to buy 3 parcels, which I'll get into in one second. But out here you can see them generally here, here, and here. And down below is a very obviously rough sense of the scale of what they're proposing. About a 50,000 square foot building that would include a right-of-way for the trolley extension. I know this has come up before. We've been very clear all along that the trolley extension is a part of this plan, and Watermark's actually very excited about that, as well as a quasi-private parking lot available for their use, but with district utilities. So again, it's a 50,000 square foot building. It's about a $7.5 million investment and will involve the 3 parcels in that area. I'd like to introduce the President and CEO, John Haley, see if he can say a few words about his interest in the proposal.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Haley. I'm the President and CEO of Watermark.
I'm a Lowell resident, born and raised in Lowell, a product of the Lowell Public School System. This is part of my lifelong vision and dream. This is one piece within that. I have a lot more after this. But we had some early discussions back in 2007, 2008 with regards to doing something in the Hamilton Canal. This is now a realization of part of that vision. Just so everyone knows a little bit more about Watermark. Watermark started out as an environmental company. As you can see now, most of our corporate documents are now just Watermark because we do a lot more than that. Environmental is only about 25% of our business. But just to give you an idea of the amount of work that we've done within the Hamilton Canal District, we did a lot of the pre-environmental work for the city of Lowell. We've constructed the Western Canal Walkway that's just on the other side of Dutton Street for the city of Lowell. We've done a lot of work for the national parks. We designed the new docks that were installed for the tour boats that were recently installed. We refurbished a number of the gates that are within these canals. We pulled them out and refurbished them. And we've replaced a lot of the track and the track lighting for the trolley system within the Hamilton Canal District. So we're excited about this opportunity, and there's a lot of work ahead, a lot of details that have to be worked out, but we're very excited about this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Haley. Thank you for all your work, and thank you for choosing Lowell, more importantly, in this area.
I will note on this proposal, something the manager brought up again, we're very excited about John's interest. And John's interest is actually really critical to our ability to attract the $5 million state grant. It requires a private partner to have a new building associated with it. And again, you see here a portion of the infrastructure that grant would fund in furtherance of John's proposal. So we're very excited about that. Second proposal is from Genesis Healthcare. Genesis is a very large provider of acute care services across the nation. They have more than 500 skilled nursing centers and senior living communities in 34 states. They also supply an extraordinary amount of contract rehabilitation therapy. This is a map from some publicity materials that they provided to us that sort of shows the reach of them and their network across basically the entire United States. So Genesis is a major group, and it's very exciting that they're interested in investing in the Hamilton Canal District. To be specific about their proposal, they're looking at the end of the other peninsula here, down at what's known as parcels 2 and 4. So again, here's 110 Canal. Here's mill number 5. And this is where Jackson Street comes to the end of Canal Street. You see we have a temporary parking lot out there. That's to serve 110 Canal. As a part of that, that will be replicated in the adjacent available space. And in its place will be built a facility of over 140,000 square feet. This is a general concept of what it could look like. We're still discussing with Genesis the exact layout. But again, this is based on the existing form-based code there. What this council may remember is that this area was targeted for residential. As a part of us going out, as the manager has said repeatedly, we wanted to be open to new ideas and to get the best proposal available to us. Again, Genesis stepped forward, and we were very excited about the potential to use a signature site for a signature building, but again, move in the direction of something that will be commercial, job producing, and have folks there around the clock. So again, it's a facility, a skilled nursing facility of more than 140,000 square feet. It's an investment of up to $40 million. I think this is something worth remembering. I wasn't necessarily around at the time, but the investments downtown over $10 million, other than Jeanne d'Arc, generally go all the way back to Wang to see something of this scale, Wang and its corporate headquarters. So this is very, very exciting. Genesis is also discussing a collaboration with UMass Lowell to work on about 20,000 square feet for research and teaching in the facility. And Genesis proposal will be a combination of relocation and expansion. And we have Ray Mead from the firm here to say a few words.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the council members, my name is Ray Mead. I'm the construction manager for Genesis Healthcare. And as Craig said, we're very excited about this project, and I know that the city, the manager, and the other staff are very excited about this project. What it is we're in what we call the acute care business, nursing homes. And what we're building nowadays is we're not building nursing homes anymore. We don't want nursing homes that you would normally go and spend your last days at. We want nursing homes and we want skilled care skilled facilities to go in, get rehabilitated, and then go home. We've had people as old as 101 years old come in to our facilities, get rehabbed for 14 days, and then go home. That's a goal of ours, and that's really what we're looking at here. The unique portion of this project is the collaboration with UMass Health and Sciences. And by the way, I have with me tonight, I have Dean McKinney from the College of Health Sciences and Adam Backey, who's in capital planning for UMass. This is a unique building that will turn into and become a teaching skilled nursing facility, again in collaboration with UMass and their health sciences programs. And we're very excited about this. As most of you probably know, we have a facility over at 941 Merrimack Street, and we looked for many years to try to do something else with that building, to try to expand it, to try to improve it. And the facility itself is just not, and the location of it is just not conducive to a major renovation. This piece of property came to us through Adam, and we started looking at it, and it's not normally the size lot that we like. We like to have at least 5 acres, but we have an initial design to fit it on that lot with an underground parking garage. And something else unique about this facility is that we're going to add a retail aspect to this. The first floor of this building will house retail, which is totally unusual to a skilled nursing facility. We're very happy about it. We think this is fantastic. As Craig said, we're looking at spending $40 million, and I hope that this doesn't get to Pennsylvania so that they don't hear that I'm going to spend $40 million. But that's our initial estimates on the project. But again, we're very excited about it. I do have to say that the staff and manager have been fantastic in this what we call very rapid, very aggressive process that we have put them through. And the cooperation has been fantastic, and we really look forward to investing in Lowell.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you investing in the city, and if you're going to invest $40 million, we can put a gag order on this going to Pennsylvania. That's for sure.
I know some folks from UMass Lowell are here tonight as well.
Yes.
Offer to have them
would you like
say
to join
a few
us?
quick words as well.
Representative from UMass Lowell. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. I am Shorty McKinney. I'm the Dean of the College of Health Sciences at UMass Lowell. We have approximately 1,300 students. That covers the entire continuum of health professions, from nursing. We're adding our pharmacy school, physical therapy, clinical lab, nutrition. Pretty much we have a little bit of everything, and that's what makes this opportunity to work with Genesis wonderful, because we really have a new approach to the way we're educating our students, which is called interprofessional education, where we really have the healthcare team work together and learn how to optimize healthcare. And Genesis believes in the same concept. This new facility, if it comes to be, is going to allow us to really have an innovative teaching model and really could be groundbreaking for the entire country. This would be something that no one else has. Would allow us to bring a lot of positive attention to both the university and the city and to Genesis, because we would have something that no one else has. Could do an awful lot to just transform the way we educate our students and improve upon the quality of care that we provide. We're really excited about the potential to be in this particular location. We already have fabulous partnership with Lowell Community Health Center, which is just down the street, and we want to expand our connections as a university to the other community providers. Then this would make it much more possible for us to do that, because it brings us closer to the downtown area where many of those nonprofits already are. And so it is a fabulous opportunity for us to really bring something quite innovative, cutting edge research, and best education for our students within a real distinctive facility. So we're very excited about this.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening and sharing that with us. Mr. Thomas?
Yep, yeah, thank you all for that. Just to finish up here, a part of this also is the Hamilton Canal District parking garage that the manager mentioned. We're looking to put the public bid for design out this fall. We're hoping that the design funding can be paid for through the sales to Watermark and Genesis, and it's critical to moving forward. I just want to do one quick thing. This is where we are today, just so get a sense of the amount of activity that these different projects represent. This is where we are today. This is the area 1 year from now that Genesis could potentially be working on, that Watermark could potentially be working on, what the state grant would be funding, and where the garage could be in the ground. That's a lot of the district that could be in the midst of being renovated, rehabilitated, and transformed. So I'll turn that actually over to the city councilor to talk about the next steps, where we go from here with the votes before the council tonight.
Madam Solicitor?
Sure. As the manager had stated at the outset, there are before the council for consideration 4 votes this evening. 2 apply to Genesis Healthcare and 2 to Watermark. 2 of the votes are access agreements, which would allow both entities to enter onto the site, do the necessary testing, and due diligence. The second set of votes would be to authorize the manager and staff to begin entering into land disposition agreements with both entities.
Thank you, Madam Solicitor. All set?
Yep, just so again, we have the votes tonight. We're moving forward with our putting together development terms, and we'll continue the RFQ process with the master development proposal. And that's it on the presentation.
Very good. Before we proceed any further, we have a registered speaker, Mr. Clerk.
Armin Hebert.
Hi, Armin Hebert, 499 Wilder Street. I've been before this council before, and I seen this coming up. I says, well, I better check in on this. Now, through you, Mr. Mayor, to the city manager, is this going to be covered under that Hamilton-based canal bidding process you put out before, where they were going to have to employ city residents, women, with an apprentice program?
Mr. Manager?
Yes.
Yes, so they're going to, these people are going to be required to hire residents. How are we going to enforce this?
We will monitor it.
Okay, and how are you going to have someone designated to monitor these projects?
Yes.
Okay, so everything's going to go according to plan with the bidding contract that I was shown at that meeting that night?
Absolutely.
Can I get that in writing?
Okay.
No.
No? See, that's why I don't trust politicians. 'Cause,
Okay,
you know what?
Mr.
You want
Hebert,
anything,
he's
you want
answered
them
the
in writing.
question. We got it.
You know, because my concern is here, I'm on a job right now. 35, well, I'm not on the job anymore because I got moved to another job. I'm in Lawrence. 35 people at a job in Lowell. Not one person, I was the only one from Lowell as a resident. I think the council, the city manager, his assistants, and everybody in the city should be appalled by that because we're letting, it's a UMass Lowell job. And there's just so much money. You know what? If I was a businessman, a downtown businessman, I'd go take a poll and find out where these people are living and open a business down there instead, because they're not spending the money here. Yeah, I really think that we got to make sure we enforce this. It's a big thing. We're talking billions of dollars here in construction work. That's a lot of money that can be put into residents' pockets, not just into people going to Fall River and out of state. And that's what's happening with a lot of these projects in the city now. All the money is going out. Nothing's staying in the city. And if we can't get a commitment from these contractors that they're going to at least try to hire employees, follow the bidding process, I don't think it's a good thing. And I think you as councilors should be appalled at what I just told you is about these construction jobs are going out to other people in other states, other locations. You talk about here every week how we got to redevelop the city of Lowell. We got to bring money down to the downtown area for the businesses. Well, if the money's going out of town, it's not going to go downtown, that's for sure. It's going to someone else's downtown.
So, Mr. Hebert, I think the manager did answer the question. As part of the RFQ process, there are project labor agreements, or best practices, excuse me. So, I mean, while this is
If you're
It's
talking
a-
about either one of these projects,
No, I
they're
just wanna
not
finish.
private.
I just want to finish.
Because there's, on stipulation 8 of Watermark, they were asking for grant money to complete their project. So that makes their project a whole public project, no matter what, because they're asking any part of that project that's public money becomes it a prevailing wage job.
Absolutely. And those projects are publicly funded projects, and they'll be publicly bid projects, which will require prevailing wage. So I think this entire city council agrees with you, and we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that those best practices, which includes giving Lowell people the jobs here, we will ensure that we'll do everything that we can to make sure that happens, because I believe we all agree
I
with
just
you.
hope it doesn't go away like it did in '89, when it was never voted off the record. I wish I could have got a hold of one of these archive guys, because from my research, looking back, Googling it, everything, that should have never been taken off as an ordinance, because it was never voted on by the city council. As far as I know, you might want to talk to the archive guy. He might have a vote. I could not find something. So someone illegally took that off. And maybe they should be thrown in jail. I'm not politically correct, gentlemen and ladies. I'm going to tell it like it is. Because, you know what? I'm not really happy with the way this city has been handling its residents. You're letting jobs go out of town. You're not, hey, you know what? It's just ruining the city.
Mr.
You
Hebert.
got to enforce this. It just can't be said, I'm going to enforce it, we'll monitor it. We need something to say that it's going to be done.
There is language that is included, Mr. Hebert, in this agreement, in this request for proposal.
I hope
Look,
it is, because I will be monitoring it.
we can't break the law. We completely agree with you. This is private development. When
Well,
there's-
someone broke the law years ago when they took that ordinance off the books.
When there is
requiring-
when there's public money on these projects, when we are receiving $5 million in public money, that is clearly public money. It has to be publicly bid, and prevailing wage has to be paid. What we do with our private money, the private investors, the companies, is we include language that incorporates best practices, and that includes hiring Lowell residents. So I just want you to know, and the people to know, that we're doing everything that we can, because we agree we need to keep the jobs in Lowell, to Lowell people, to benefit Lowell, the city of Lowell.
I hope so. I appreciate your time.
And we know that you're going to be vigilant, and you're going to hold our feet to the fire.
I'm not going away, people. I'm not going away.
We
I'm gonna
thank
be
you.
here.
We thank you. For Councilor Milanazzo, and then Councilor Mercier, and then other members of the council. Councilor Martin.
Thank you. Not to get into the details of conversations that I know this administration has had with some of the local labor unions related to project labor agreements. We all, as a council, want to make sure that Lowell residents have an opportunity to work on these jobs. So I know that the city managers had meetings, we've had discussions with them and so forth. So I'm confident this administration will carry through and follow through and monitor whatever we do here. My question to the administration, if I could, first of all, congratulations. This is very good news. My question is, and I believe I know the answer, it's probably rhetorical, but I just thought we should get it on the record. We vote these 4 votes this evening. That does not impact WIN's interest in being the master developer,
Mr.
correct?
Manager?
No, doesn't impact their quest to be the master developer.
Thank
They
you.
are fully aware of these
I
proposals.
thought they were, but just based upon, speculation and votes being taken tonight, I just thought we should get it on the record. Thank you.
I'll say Council. Councilor Mercier?
Thank you very much. This is a great win-win situation. I'm very proud of everybody that stepped up to the plate and made this happen, and we got to give credit to Councilor Belanger, who kind of put the fire under everybody's feet when it was going nowhere. So I appreciate this getting on track again, and this is great news. Secondly, the gentleman that just spoke, I happen to agree 100% as to what he said, and he's keeping us honest and to our promise that Lowell residents matter, and so I take it for the manager for his word, and I admire you for being here, holding our feet to the fire, because I understand how this feels. I lived through hoping my husband would have a job, and I know how to stretch a paycheck, so I can appreciate, and I want our money to stay in the city to the very people that are paying their taxes faithfully. They should be able to have a job. So everybody in this room that is listening, our Lowellians matter. So what you said was right on the money, and thank you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Council. We'll go with Council Martin, Council Kennedy, Council Belanger.
Okay.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. I share the excitement that Craig was evident from Mr. Thomas, and I'm sure a lot of us here, and you too, Mr. Manager. This, coming on top of the announcement that we received the grant on the bridges. This is certainly another in a series of very positive developments here in the city. I've known John Haley for a long, long time, since we were both much younger. He's younger than me, and if this is his dream, I would encourage him to keep dreaming about Lowell. This is a terrific thing, and I'm excited about the Genesis proposal too, and I want to get that all out there. I'm going to support this enthusiastically, but I do have a couple questions about the details. So, and it's mostly the drawings that are admittedly, I guess, crude. I think Mr. Thomas told them, but I guess we don't really have a specific design yet for Mr. Haley's building. But it did say in the proposal that he's looking to 5 to 7 stories. It might need a height variance. And I would just encourage a tall building. I think we're looking for a signature building. Height should be encouraged here. You look like you want to say something.
Mr. Manager.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had somebody else who was interested in parcel 17, and we petitioned the Board of Appeals for a variance to increase the height, so they can go up to 7 stories, is it, Craig?
Approximately.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're encouraging signature buildings and the higher buildings in this development area.
Right, I couldn't agree more. These premier sites in this district, and so to me, the taller the better. Whatever they can make work financially, I think the city should encourage. On the Genesis building, it just seems like the drawing on the board is a little different than the footprint that was in the packet. Right? I mean, it looks like there's an extra building in the drawing on the board that's not here. Is that?
Through you,
Mr. Thomas?
Through you, Mayor. The answer is that's correct. We're still in the design phase. Similarly, with the watermark proposal, as with Genesis, both have design review before the Lowell Historic Board. In addition, Genesis's proposal is a little different in that it deviates more from the master plan concept. And so we'll have more coordination with them for zoning changes. But the essence of what they have in their original proposal, which has already started to shift somewhat based on initial conversations with the city, could look something like this. Again, it's just sort of for illustrative purposes. For watermarks, it's a little more specific to the site, and so we do have a little better sense of what the building footprint will be.
Okay, so I'm excited about it. I think the 2 development proposals and the proposers deserve a lot of credit for showing their faith in the city of Lowell, and I appreciate the good work of the administration to bring these projects to this stage, and look forward to seeing them through to fruition. So congratulations to everybody involved, and we look forward to working with you to get them finished.
Thank you, Council. Council Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the manager. Mr. Manager, I think everybody on this council has been talking about economic development for the better part of 2 years, and so to have these 2 projects come forward is just great news, and I think everybody here is excited about it. I have a couple of questions about each one of the projects, and the one that I think seems to be out front is the watermark proposal. And so my question is, with the watermark proposal, is that will there be a TIF or anything else required that's not on tonight that we're going to have to look at down the road?
Mr. Manager?
We haven't gotten to those detailed conversations yet, but as part of the negotiations of the land disposition agreement, which we will be finalizing with you, I'm sure that's all on the table. We have had some preliminary talks about a TIF with Genesis, but not with Watermark yet.
Okay. And regarding the design of the buildings, will there need to be, will the historic board have to weigh in on this, or will there be that type of review by
Yeah, it's a different type of review, though. It's not as extensive, but could you explain for the council what type of review the Historic Board has?
Yep, thank you, Manager, through you. Technically, the word for it is non-discretionary. What that means is it's a conversation. The Historic Board doesn't really say yes or no. They come forward with a proposal, and they work together to come up with the final plan for the skin of the building, as they call it. And so it can be an administrative process for something this large. It will be a public hearing, but again, it's really a collaborative process.
And so I think that's all I've got for Watermark, but on the Genesis, that's a little bit behind because it needs some kind of a grant in order for that to go forward?
No, vice versa, is Watermark needs the $5 million MassWorks grant to move forward, but it's actually great because the state was telling us, well, show us that you're going to have economic development as a result of this investment of $5 million. So this letter of intent from Watermark says if you give us the $5 million to do these infrastructure improvements, we're going to build this building on that parcel. So it's really a great, great incentive for us to get the state money.
And do you know when we should be hearing on that?
Any day now.
Okay.
It was supposed to be, they said in October, so I anticipate any day now.
Okay. And so what is necessary for the Genesis project to go forward?
Right now, these parcels are zoned residential, so we'll have to come back here to change the zoning to commercial.
And is that it? Will the Genesis project need a TIF? Or have we not gotten that far with that?
They have proposed as part of their letter of intent that they want to talk about a TIF, and the original proposals are pretty reasonable. We still need to talk about job creation as part of the TIF, but it seems to me that it's in the ballpark of what we can afford to do.
Okay. And when this is done, will they still maintain the facility on Merrimack Street? Will they stay at the building on Merrimack Street, or have they made a...
I remember him say, I don't want to hold you to that, but can you?
I see him shaking his head.
There have been no discussions on the disposition of the Merrimack Street site. And one thing that I do want to say here is that, we currently have 140 employees working out of our Merrimack Street site, and I don't have the exact percentage of that, but I know that a major portion of the employees that work at our facility currently are Lowell residents. So, that's near and dear to our heart to have local people working for us. So, but as far as the disposition of 941 Merrimack, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Thank you. And so when do you expect each one of those? You said one of them would break ground maybe within a year, or at least that's what we're hoping. And what about for the other one?
Through you, Mayor, the Genesis project is the one that we hope to break ground within a year.
Yep.
I would think Watermark would be 2 years.
Okay.
Because remember, we have to bring in, all the infrastructure has to come, all the utilities and everything have to come from Dutton Street over that bridge and into the Hamilton Canal District. And that's not only to build Watermark, it's to build the garage also.
Okay. And then once that happens, once construction commences, it probably would be 12 to 18 months before they will complete?
Yes, Mr. Haley is indicating yes.
Yeah, 12 to 18 months.
About 18 months.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Council Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, I share the same sentiment as my colleagues. Very, very exciting. Where we were just a few short months ago, the situation was very bad. The project wasn't neutral, but here we are with two companies ready to break ground in 12 to 18 months approximately. But, Mr. Manager, what I'd like to do publicly is, you mentioned earlier the land swap deal has been achieved. I would like to take the time to publicly thank former Senator Phil Shea of his work on the LRT board, his tenacity to get this thing done. That, too, was seen to be going nowhere. We didn't seem to get anywhere with the LRTA, but it's his tenacity, his research, and his efforts that made that possible. And that keeps us on track for the garage. which is set to be complete in 2018, as we all just saw just minutes ago. And with that being said, the city we need to live up to our obligations on the RFQ as well. This is very, very, no one's going to come without parking. And that was huge. So again, Mr. Manager, an outstanding appointment on the part of Phil Shea, and we're very lucky to have him. But, here we are with two tremendous companies. Not only, it's great to relocate companies here in the city, but it's just as nice to retain companies that are growing by the day. And they're not only retaining jobs, but they're going to be adding to them with these facilities because they're going to be much larger in square footage than where they're at presently. So they're going to be adding jobs. And these aren't just jobs. These are highly skilled and high-paying jobs we're adding to this district, which was the goal from the get-go on this project. And it's being achieved. And I believe it's going to be achieved. We are going to see that vision that we've all been dreaming of this corporate campus. I think we're well on our way to seeing that come into fruition, Mr. Manager, and I couldn't be more pleased. So I commend yourself, planning and development officials. It's a pleasure to see, I know Principal John Haley a number of years. I went to high school with him, and I'm extremely proud of his company and what he's achieved, and he's a Lowell resident. And to Mr. Hebert's points, one of these, Genesis is very involved in the city as well, but Mr. Haley is a Lowell resident, and he's going to be looking to help Lowell residents as well. So I think we're going to be in good shape in that regard as well. So, Mr. Manager, again, outstanding job by yourself, your administration, and planning and development. We are well on our way in this district, and there's much more to go, but we have to all be pleased where we're at right now compared to where we were just a few short months ago. With that being said, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council Belanger. We have Councilor Rourke, then Council Samaras.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I echo the comments of my colleagues, Mr. Manager. I think what's most amazing about this is the speed and the detail, which you and your team, the DPD, has addressed these issues. We came to you a few months ago with these concerns, and as usual, you've responded in an exemplary manner. And the only concern I had coming in tonight was the Lowell residents work program, and you addressed those issues as well. So I look forward to working with these two businesses, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Council Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. Regarding these two parcels, there was some discussion that the parcels were being taken over by two companies already in Lowell, and that, we had not gone outside the city to get new companies. I think Watermark, Mr. Haley, and Genesis have to be really thanked, because what this is all about, and Councilor Belanger alluded to it, you have two companies that obviously want to expand, and the type of development they are planning, they could go anywhere. And the fact that the city manager was able to work with them to have them stay here, and the fact that they want to stay here, speaks so much to this being the right plan, the right time, and something that deserves our support. So I want to commend Mr. Haley and the people of Genesis for staying with us. They could have just as easily left. And I think we all know as councilors, we've seen these things happen in the past where companies have expanded but not in Lowell. So what you have is the best, I think, of all worlds. Companies that are in Lowell wanting to expand in Lowell. And that will truly bring in other companies, because they'll see very healthy organizations. So Mr. Manager, thank you for everything you've done, and your team.
Okay. Council Lee.
Sure. I just want to congratulate all parties involved. And as Councilor Samaras said, this is great that Lowell companies are staying in Lowell. They're investing in Lowell. And as we talked about, hopefully Lowell jobs at prevailing wages, decent wages. So it's a win-win for everybody. And these are two great parcels that, first one in, you get choice lots. And so it looked like we're on a roll here, and this development is on its way. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. And I did have a conversation with the solicitor. There is language that will be included and that has been included in the past, and compliance and reports that we can include as part of this agreement to ensure that Mr. Hebert is not down here regularly. No, I'm just kidding. Just to ensure that, you're concerned that, guess what, we're going to walk away from this and then we're not going to follow up on it. There are ways, and we've done it in the past, and it does make some sense. So I just want to ensure you can work through me in the manager's office with other questions, because I think it's a very valid point. So with that, any further discussion on the motion before you is a vote? It's been read twice. Further discussion on this vote? Roll call. Okay. Motion. I thought motion was made in second. Yes? Okay. Motion by Council Rourke, seconded by Council Milanazzo. Roll call. Sorry.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milanazzo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas, motion passes. This is the second vote on Watermark. There's a vote to authorize the city manager to execute an access agreement with Watermark Environmental Incorporated regarding parcel 17, 17A, and parcel A. This also requires 2 readings. Entertain a motion to waive this lengthy document as well for the second reading by Council Martin, second by Council Leahy. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed, motion carries. Second reading by title. Again, in City Council is a vote authorizing the city manager to execute an access agreement relative to a portion of 221.4 Jackson Street, otherwise referred to in the City of Lowell's form-based code as parcel 17, 17A, and parcel C with Watermark Environmental Incorporated. Move to approve by Council Belanger, second by Council Kennedy. Discussion? Roll call.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milanazzo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Next vote is a vote to authorize the city manager to accept the request for quote proposals, RFQ proposal of Genesis Healthcare LLC on parcels 2, 3A, and 4. Again, this requires a second reading. Motion to waive the full reading on this vote as well by Council Mercia, seconded by Council Samaras. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye, and the opposed, motion carries. The second reading will be by title. In City Council is a vote authorizing the city manager to accept the request for qualifications of Genesis Healthcare LLC to developing parcels 2, 3A, and 4 in the Hamilton Canal District, Lowell, and to execute all documents necessary for the transfer of all the properties. Entertain a motion to approve by Councilor Milanazzo, second by Councilor Rourke. Roll call.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milanazzo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas. This will be the last vote on these two developments, these two proposals. Another vote to authorize the city manager to execute an access agreement with Genesis Healthcare LLC. Again, entertain a motion to waive the full reading by Council Samaras, second by Council Mercia. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed, motion carries. Second reading, again by title in City Council, is a vote authorizing the city manager to execute an access agreement with Genesis Healthcare LLC for parcels 341.1, 341.3, and 341.2 Jackson Street, otherwise referred to as parcels 2, 3A, and 4 in the Hamilton Canal District. Motion to approve by Councilor Martin, seconded by Councilor Leahy. Roll call.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milanazzo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Thank you. Those concludes those two votes. Congratulations. Thank you for your hard work. We look forward to the developments in the future and some ribbon cuttings, as well as working together with you to make these projects happen. Thank you very much. And Mr. Thomas and the staff at the Division of Planning and Development, we thank you for your hard work. First step, big step in developing Hamilton Canal. We look forward to seeing the master developer soon. Anything further? Okay. Moving on to the next item, we have orders from the city manager. We have an order for 60-day trial. Motion to waive the full reading by Council Mercia, seconded by Council Samaras. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. This order in City Council is an order pursuant to Chapter 266 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Lowell, Massachusetts, concerning Chapter 266-6 thereof entitled Temporary Experimental Regulations. Temporary traffic regulations are hereby implemented for a period of 60 days. What is the wish of the body?
Move approval.
Move approval by Council Mercia, second by Council Milonazo. Roll call.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milonazo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
9 yeas.
That concludes orders from the city manager. We move on to reports, subcommittee report. The chair would like to recognize the chairman of the transportation subcommittee that had scheduled a meeting for this evening. I would like to thank you, Councilor Milonazo, for agreeing to allow us to postpone that meeting in order that we could conduct interviews for our 3 auditors. Chairman Milonazo?
I'm hoping to reschedule it for November 10th, if that works for the administration. Yeah, November 10th, 5:30.
November 10th.
And this has to do with the Andover Street pedestrian crossing.
Right.
Yes.
So
Councilor Samaras?
I believe the Committee on Education has that November 10th date.
We can report back to the council.
Yeah,
you
okay,
know,
we'll report
yeah,
back, but it
We'll
will
pick-
be
we'll pick another
rescheduled
date.
for
Yeah,
that.
he's correct. The following date, the following Tuesday is available, Council.
The 17th?
17th,
Okay,
yes.
that's fine. We'll
Is that
set
okay, Mr.
17th at
Chairman?
5:30. Thank you.
Okay, great. So we have the 10th and the 17th.
Just for the record, Chancellor Maloney will be making a presentation that day.
Very good. Thank you, Council. Further updates or subcommittee reports, meeting schedule? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next item on the agenda, we have petitions. We have a claim for one property. I need a motion to refer this to the Law Department for report and recommendation. By Councilor Kennedy, seconded by Councilor Leahy. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed, motion passes. There's another miscellaneous petition from Jeff Engel, Lowell Gallery. Request City Council approve installation of an overhanging sign at 219 Central Street. We need a motion to refer this to the Law Department as well for report and recommendation by Councilor Kennedy, seconded by Councilor Belanger. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. One last petition, Nadia DeGrega. Request installation of one handicap parking sign at 69 Crawford Street, Apartment 3. Motion to refer this to the traffic engineer for report and recommendation by Councilor Mercia, seconded by Councilor Rourke. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. That concludes the business before the City Council this evening. Entertain a motion to adjourn by Councilor Martin, seconded by Councilor Leahy. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. This meeting stands adjourned. Have a good night.